The deal provided assurances that ships won't be attacked entering and leaving Ukrainian ports. The warring nations are both major global suppliers of wheat, barley, sunflower oil, and other affordable food products that developing nations rely on. While analysts don't expect more than a temporary bump to food commodity prices because places like Russia and Brazil have increased wheat and corn exports, food insecurity is growing. The war in Ukraine sent food commodity prices surging to record high last year and contributed to a global food crisis also tied to other conflicts, the lingering effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, droughts, and other climate factors. High costs for grain needed for food staples in places like Egypt, Lebanon, and Nigeria exacerbated economic challenges and helped push millions more people into poverty or food insecurity. The Black Sea Grain Initiative has allowed 3 Ukrainian ports to export 32.9 million metric tons of grain and other food to the world, more than half of that to developing nations, according to the Joint Coordination Center in Istanbul. But the deal has faced setbacks since it was brokered by the UN and Turkey. Russia pulled out briefly in November before rejoining and extending the deal. Coming up next is sports news. Bring the details shortly. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Biscon Television News. Now to the weather sports. New Tottenham coach Ange Postecoglou says that Harry Kane was totally committed to his vision for the North London club as speculation mounts over the England captain's future. Kane has entered the final 12 months of his 6-year Spurs contract and has been courted aggressively by Bayern Munich. Faced by the uncertainty ahead of next month's start of the English Premier League season, Postecoglou said his initial discussions with Kane had been instructive. He said, and I quote, "He's here, and while he's here, he's totally committed to what we're doing," end of quote. Kane headlines Tottenham's 31-man squad for the pre-season tour to Perth, Bangkok, and Singapore. The no-nonsense Postecoglou's first game in charge of Tottenham will be in Australia, to where his family emigrated from Greece when he was 5. We'll take another short break, and when we come back, we'll bring you some entertainment news. Join us again. Welcome back. You're still watching Biscon Television News. Now to entertainment news. Kathy has shared her thoughts on the marriage institution while opening up about her failed marriage. In an interview with Chude Jidonwo, she said mental health evaluation, couples therapy, and drug tests should be a mandatory requirement for aspiring married couples. Going further, the famous dancer noted that the reason behind numerous failed marriages in Nigeria is the fact that it is easier to acquire a marriage certificate than a driver's license. She said, and I quote, "We can't live in a society that issues you marriage certificates easier than driver's licenses," end of quote. Kathy also touched on her marriage to Joseph Ame, which she said failed because of lack of knowledge and adequate preparation. In her opinion, it is not enough for people to view marriages from their parents' eyes alone, but acquire education on the matter beforehand. This is not the first time the world-class dancer has opened up about her failed marriage. In 2022, she declared that she was happy that her marriage failed because she knows better now. And that's it for now on the News Hour on Biscon Television. Compiled and produced by Tamiloba Bolari and David Asha. I am Stella Para. Thank you for watching.
Hello there, this is Biscon Television broadcasting from Lagos. Here is the newspaper review for today, Monday the 17th day of July 2023. We'll have all the papers in attendance, so to speak. Let's begin with the Punch. IG withdraws mobile policemen from ex-governors, ministers and other VIPs. NERC may okay tariff hike as electricity subsidy hits 2.8 trillion naira. Anger Senate defends 70 billion naira palliative for lawmakers. Controversy over alleged resignation of APC chair Adamu. Adamu allegedly forced to resign 2 days before NEC meeting, party spokesman says. NWC member and other sources divided over resignation. Kyari may chair NWC meeting. Resist new scramble for Africa, Tinubu tells AU Forum. President Bola Tinubu at the 5th media coordination meeting between the African Union and the regional economic communities and regional mechanism in Nairobi, Kenya. This was yesterday. 43 million Nigerians shut out of Buhari's cash transfer. Special report is stating that. NDLEA nabs Europe-bound undergraduate Lagos lawyer with drugs. World Bank links Lagos building collapses to poor regulation. And that's all from the Punch, the very first newspaper for today. Now we take on this day. Central Bank raises tenure limit for banks' chief executives to 12 years. New governance code emphasizes gender diversity on company's board. Sets cumulative tenure limit of directors of the same bank to 24 years. Mandates banks to disclose risks management policies in annual financial statements. That's from the Central Bank. NNPC upstream plans 40 billion barrels reserves by 2030. Seeks investment in pipelines network. Now for the Senate, $800 million not loan its World Bank support for vulnerable Nigerians. On President's alleged order, Adamu Omishere resign. APC may propose midterm elective convention at NEC. Tinubu misinterpreting the law on 25% of FCT votes can lead to anarchy. Claims Obi Atiku's petitions unfamiliar with electoral law, says the petitions failed to prove alleged non-compliance. Puts actual votes scored to 8,830,369 votes. Meanwhile, the pictures of all the presidents of the different parts of Africa converging for the meeting at the 5th media coordination meeting between African bodies. This is what you see on all the newspapers today. But I'm not particularly comfortable with the way President is positioned in the picture. I think as the leader, President of ECOWAS and a big country like Nigeria, it should not be hiding anywhere other than in the middle. But they'll have the explanation for that. Now the Tribune. CISLAC and SERAP kick against proposed procurement of bulletproof exotic vehicles by NAS and others. Eurobound teenage students arrested at Abuja airport with meth consignment. Tinubu's cabinet, supporters worry over inclusion of ex-governors. Say it may cost goodwill. Son of ex-CJN tipped as AGF Battle for slots rages in Nasarawa and other states. There can't be military solution to Northwest crisis. Shetima, that's the Vice President, says Tinubu to unveil new security initiative very soon. Nasarawa Guba, Tribunal admits more evidence in case against Sule. 4 killed, 11 injured in Lagos-Ibadan Expressway accident. NERC to engage stakeholders over Disco's request for tariff increase. Petrol subsidy removal, suspense in states over palliatives. 110 billion naira earmarked for NAS members illegal contemptuous. Threatens contempt proceedings against Ramka chair Akpabio Abbas. And that's it from the Tribune for today. Now the Sun. APC confusion over Adamu Umishore's fate. Plan to buy 40 billion naira SUV splits NAS. That's the National Assembly members. Lawmakers kick against purchase of foreign made. Insist on innocent other locally assembled vehicles. Falana set up tackle principal officers over move to spend 110 billion naira on bulletproof cars. 70 billion naira for repairs, furniture not for members. Senators countering. Enugu Guba, Abga candidate Wike Jr. withdraws suit against Mba, that's the governor, the PDP governor, now overriding ruling activities in Enugu State now. I suffered worst personality attacks, assaults in Osun's political history, says governor. You may want to read up the story on page 26 of the Sun to know exactly which governor we're talking about. I'm happy to be a chancellor of Asban University as Arthur Eze as varsity inaugurates BOT. Female lawyer, others nabbed with tons of illicit drugs as NELEA intercepts 116.5 kilogram Colorado from Canada. Past plundering exploitation of Africa must never repeat itself. That's what Tinubu is saying. Dangote donates high-tech recovery devices to the SAN staff, while locally produced petrol will be expensive, crude refineries are saying. Nasarawa Guba, Tribunal admits more evidence against Governor Sule. That's the governor of Nasarawa State. Now we are with the New Telegraph. CBN letter of credit payments gulped $841.21 million in the first quarter of 2023. Budget priorities: federal government's fiscal deficit projected to surpass 513 billion naira. APC crisis: Adamu resigns, drops letter with PGF chair. 2023 poll worst in Nigeria's history. Cardinal Onayeko. 70 billion naira palliative legal. Falana tells NAS members. 11-year-old girl kidnapped in Mbappe. Now turning now to Nasarawa issues. Tribunal admits more evidences against Governor Sule. Kaduna Tribunal, Senator Adamu tenders proof of schools attended. IPOB to FG release Kanu and sponsored criminals in Southeast. Appointments: anger in APC as Tinubu loyalists take charge. Corner NAS appropriation slots. Akpabio Abbas helpless as standing committees. Governors at the mercy of Lagos cabal. Very interesting stories in the political scene. Norman to Senate. Functional refineries alone can't crash petrol price to 300 naira. Prepaid meters not upgraded by 2024 will cease to function. Kaduna Electric. Frank Weke withdraws petition against Mba. INEC insists Enugu Guba poll free and fair. Military solution won't work in Northwest. Shetima says Tinubu will soon unveil fresh initiatives to combat insecurity and poverty. Banditry clashes in Northwest caused by poverty and social exclusion. Acts of brutality infringes on victims' constitutional rights. We end with this. Serap gives Akpabio and about 7 days to drop plan to spend 110 billion naira on bulletproof cars and others. Senate debunks supplementary budget padding story. And that's it on New Telegraph. President set to unveil security plan, says Shetima will honor to the nation. 50 billion naira power plant, $50 billion power plant to drive Lagos economy. Plan private sector driven. APC's neck holds Wednesday, the 19th of July 2023. Violence forces Olubadan to suspend Egungun Festival. Service chiefs face reps panel. Petrol subsidy removal desirable, says APC Chair Adamu. Tinubu, Africa must be active to compete globally. Makes a lot of sense. Leaders pledge commitment to integration and cooperation. That's something coming out of the meeting of all African leaders going on as we speak in Nairobi, Kenya. And of course our president is also there speaking for Nigeria. Now the Vanguard. Insurgency, military might alone can't solve crisis in Northeast. VP Shetima. He should know. He's from that part of Africa, Nigeria. Tinubu affirms Africa's unity, warns against new scramble for continent. Illegal firearms. Lawyers, activists demand Emefiele's immediate release. He's still been held on suspicion that he was in possession of some illegal firearms. But the lawyers and activists are ready to defend him. Subsidy removal. Federal government targets two-pronged relief for workers. To provide palliatives, pay 200,000 naira minimum wage. To empower states to pay new wage. Adulterated aviation fuel floods Lagos, Kano and Abuja. 8,000 too small to ease pains of fuel subsidy removal. Informal sector workers are crying out. APC crisis. Pressure mounts on Adamu Omisore to resign. We'll know details of that when the NWC meets on Wednesday. Naira hits new low at 820 naira per dollar as forex supply gap persists. Electricity tariff. NERC 11 discos set for fresh public hearing. Set up to Akpabio and Abbas drop plan to spend 110 billion naira on bulletproof cars. We end with this. 2026 FIFA World Cup. Bros tips South Africa to qualify ahead Nigeria. And we're going to be ending with the newspaper that is celebrating 40 years of being gatekeepers of this society. Very effective gatekeepers, I must say. I'm talking about The Guardian. Tinubu Ruto call for financially autonomous AU. Reject fresh scramble for Africa. Ruto is just the newly installed president of Kenya. APC neck. Anxiety over resignation of Abdullahi Adamu. Quite a lot of newspapers have actually taken him for resigned. But we'll know the right thing on Wednesday when the NWC meets formally. Decongesting Lagos ports, cash crunch, investors' apathy, stole $8.5 billion deep sea port projects. Why President must avoid illegal tenure extension for public officers. Serap urges National Assembly to drop plan for 110 billion naira bulletproof cars and others. Again, cement prices hit 6,000 naira over logistics and haulage cost. Tinubu Obi congratulates the Guardian at 40. And that will about do it for the newspapers for today, Monday the 17th of July, in the year of our Lord 2023. I'm Biscon Tv. Thanks for watching.
Here is the breaking news of the moment. Biscon TV, the most exciting 24-hour general interest television station, parading cutting-edge programs in news, sports, politics, business, foreign news, fashion and style, entertainment and lifestyle programs, Biscon movies and more, has been moved to channel 144 on GoTV. Our programs begin daily with Biscon Breakfast Bubble (BBB), featuring newspaper review and interviews on trending issues. Biscon Roundtable is our daily discussion program on essential tips on life and living. Biscon TV broadcasts news 7 times daily from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. Biscon TV can be watched in all parts of the country now on GoTV channel 144 and live streaming on Biscon TV on YouTube. Biscon TV live streaming on YouTube is the fastest growing, most watched 24-hour live streaming channel on YouTube. Remember, Biscon TV has been moved from channel 108 to channel 144 on GoTV. Biscon TV, interactive, engaging, and unconventional.
Hello and welcome to Clearview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines.
Nigerian police force withdraws mobile force personnel attached to Aisha Buhari, Mamman Daura, Boss Mustafa, others. Veterans blame quackery. Poor regulation by union on dwindling journalism profession. Rotary Club empowers 100 teachers with impactful skills in Abuja.
I am Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. Abdullahi Adamu stampeded from office as the APC national chairman. This is a question on the lips of many members and supporters of Nigeria's ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, following the resignation of Senator Abdullahi Adamu as the party's national chairman. Reports reaching Clearview News Desk say Adamu was allegedly forced to resign due to various issues, including his alleged non-support for President Bola Tinubu during his campaign and alleged mismanagement of the party's funds. We also learned that in a swift reaction to his resignation, he has been replaced by the Deputy National Chairman Abubakar Kyari as the acting chairman. Kyari was born in Borno on January 15, 1960, and is the son of late Brigadier Abubakar Kyari, a former military administrator of north-central Nigeria from 1967 to 1975. He was elected to the Senate in 2015 to represent Borno North and was re-elected in 2019. He was named as Deputy National Chairman in 2022. While the news of Adamu's resignation came alive, we also got the gist that the National Secretary, Iyola Omishore, has also tendered his letter of resignation. Coming on the heels of this development, the ruling All Progressives Congress National Working Committee postponed the National Caucus and National Executive Committee meetings indefinitely. The meetings were supposed to hold on July 10 and 11, but were earlier postponed for Tuesday and Wednesday. Addressing newsmen at the end of the emergency meeting of the NWC this Monday, the APC Acting National Chairman, Senator Abubakar Kyari, said the meeting had been moved. He confirmed that the National Chairman and Secretary resigned voluntarily. The Nigerian Police Force has withdrawn the Police Mobile Force personnel previously attached to prominent individuals, including Mrs. Aisha Buhari, wife of former President Muhammadu Buhari, and his brother, Malam Mamman Daura. Other personalities affected by the withdrawal include Boss Mustafa, the former secretary to the government of the Federation, and Yochia Ayu, a former Senate president. The order for this withdrawal was contained in a police wireless message obtained by Clearview News Desk this Monday. According to the authorities, this move comes as part of ongoing reassessment and reorganization of security details by the Nigerian Police Force. The decision aims to optimize the deployment of police personnel and ensure the effective use of resources in line with prevailing security challenges in the country. The withdrawal of PMF personnel from these high-profile individuals is not indicative of any specific threat or security breach. Instead, it aligns with the broader goal of streamlining security arrangements to meet the evolving security needs of the nation. A civil society organization, Human and Environmental Agenda, has demanded a thorough, immediate and urgent investigation into the alleged 1 billion naira car gifts by the immediate past Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami to his supporters in Kebbi State. The anti-corruption group, in a petition to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, also demanded Malami's probe over several allegations of corruption and abuse of office leveled against him. The group said its 4-page petition, signed by its chairman, Olarinwaju Suraju, was also copied to the National Security Advisor, Malam Nuhu Ribadu. It decried the lack of investigation by anti-corruption agencies into these allegations, which, according to a statement by the group, were conveyed by media reports and documentary evidence. The group alleged that such lack of investigation caused the root of breakdown of law and order and total disregard for the rule of law. While Mr. Malame served as Minister of Justice, the car gifts, according to the group, include 14 Mercedes-Benz, 8 Prado SUVs, 4 Toyota Hilux and 4 Lexus LX, and that the beneficiaries were social media influencers, executive members of Mr. Malame's foundation, and women support groups. President Bola Tinubu on Friday received the Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Oba Ewuare II, at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. The monarch used the rare visit to call on Nigerians to support the administration of President Bola Tinubu. The former governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, and the Kaduna State Governor, Uba Sani, were also at the villa on a courtesy call on Mr. President.
The Oba of Benin, Oba Ewuare II, was at the Presidential Villa, Abuja, on a courtesy call on President Bola Tinubu, the very first since Tinubu assumed office. Accompanied by traditional rulers from the 3 senatorial districts of Edo State, the Oba of Benin briefed the press on their mission to the State House.
Courtesy call to show support for the administration. Nigerians should support the president. He will work. He's already working. He has hit the ground running. Everybody is seeing it. We will support the president. Other traditional rulers will support the president. We must support the president to be successful.
It was a busy day for the president, as he also received the Olugbon of Orile-Egbon, Oba Francis Olushola Alao, who pleaded with Nigerians to be patient with the president.
All I will say is, let all Nigerians be patient with him. He has kickstarted on a very positive direction, and there's no way you have gain without pain. We'll have the immediate pain, but we'll have a long-term gain. Nigerians will enjoy prosperity at the end of the day. This government means business, and the business is to serve the people, to bring dividends of democracy to the people. All the issues we have discussed, I'm very positive about this government.
Former Governor of Lagos State, Akinwumi Ambode, also came calling on Mr. President, perhaps in a bid to mend fence after the two best friends fell out when the former governor failed to secure a second-term ticket.
Cross River State Governor Senator Basi Otu has promised to complete the abandoned 36 kilometers Yahweh-Wakanom Benue Link Road in Yala local government area of the state. The governor, who was personally on inspection tour of the road, which cuts across wards and local government areas over the weekend, said when completed, the road will boost socio-economic well-being of residents.
Though a federal road, the Cross River Benue linked road started in the twilight of former Governor Ben Ayade's administration, but not much achieved. Upon assumption of office, Governor Otu assured that he will look into the project and weigh the option of either continuing with the existing contractors handling it or take another step that will enable the project to be completed on time.
We're right here in the Ukule Nation. I think we decided to go through all the wards in the Ukule North to come quite close to the border of Benue. You know, this particular road has been a problem for cross riverians here. And this is one of the projects that is very dear to our heart. So I said I'll come personally to come and look at the road, assess it, so that we know what to do immediately. This is rainy season. Probably will allow the rainy season to probably switch. At the moment the rain goes down, we'll start looking at it very seriously. Already there's some work that is ongoing here. We'll try to find out which people are working already, and whatever we're able to do, if it's to collaborate with them, we will do immediately. But we want to make sure that we link both economies, and that is that of the Ukele Nation here, right through to Benue.
Apparently happy with the governor's concern and inspection, a senior lawyer and one of the leaders of the community, Ogana Lukpata, while thanking Governor Otu, said the agrarian and industrious people of the communities will ever live to remember the governor for the good gesture, as the area have been cut off from the state due to the bad road.
The important thing is that when this road is done, come here after 3 years. You will not know this place again. You think it's from some other place. Our people are very industrious. This place has been a very big setback to us. So when you open, the businesses will spring up, the farmers will have be able to dispose their goods. Prosperity will come to the land. So we are very happy that you have come, you have seen, and we know you will do it.
The Yahi-Wanakom Benue Link Road project was valued at 3.8 billion naira when Governor Ben Ayade awarded the road to Sydney Construction Company in the last quarter of 2022.
Unarguably, education is the bedrock of any society. It allows for critical appraisal of lives and makes adjustments for a better future. To this end, Rotary Club of Abuja Kubwa, a non-profit making organization in partnership with Green Olives Development Foundation over the weekend, organized a one-day education empowerment training tagged Empowering Teachers to Empower for Teachers.
This event was conceived to enable us provide some kind of training and skills to the teachers so as to enable them impact better on their students and their pupils in their various schools. We are looking at a situation where 100 teachers, as we have gathered here today, will learn some new skills and new methodologies in learning, which they can now impact on their students as they go back to their various schools.
When we empower our teachers, we know we're empowering the society, because the children emulate them. They mentor the children knowingly or unknowingly. So a lot is going into this, to teach them what they don't know, and then to encourage them on other things that they may think they know. by bringing the new insight into the teaching profession.
Today, we've gathered teachers here to empower them so that they can empower our children. By empowering our children is to teach them with beautiful skills. As they are gathered here, over 100 of them, and this is an initiative by 19 presidents in the district, and with our partners, the Green Olive Development Foundation, that have come together to say, look, let us bring teachers, public school teachers, to give them additional skill on how to keep training our children.
Most participants present at the event were grateful and hope that this should be a continuous process where they can develop and gain lifelong experience, which will give them encouragement and support as they engage in continuous professional development. Mercy Eke, Clearview TV News.
In a bid to encourage hard work, love for country and community services, United Nations Habitat Ambassador Dr. Raymond Edo has been honored as most notable and top distinguished ambassador of the 21st century. Clearview's Florence Joshua brings us details of the event.
Young people now play a crucial role more than ever before in building a more just, equitable, resilient and sustainable world, and an essential part of which involves countering corruption. Thus, there's an urgent need for young people to take charge and be drivers of the change they want to see, especially attitudinal and behavioral. Dr. Raymond Edo, the United Nations Ambassador on Habitat, was among those honored. He emphasized the need for hard work and love for country as he encouraged young people to take charge of their lives as he bagged the award for Global Award as most notable and top distinguished ambassador of the 21st century.
In the educational sector, a society with education, you have a whole lot to sleep about, but when you have people or living in an environment with people who lack some certain knowledge, then automatically it's challenging. My purpose for this is to make sure the remote community with no education, we will make sure they have accessibility and basic education. Nigeria is a nation that is blessed, and we must continue to see this as young ones.
UNESCO laureate and Vice Chancellor, Crown University, USA, Professor Sir Bashiru Aremu, while reacting to the great feats by Dr. Raymond Edo, congratulated United Nations Ambassador on his Global Golden Awards and gave reason for his choice as Lifetime Fellow in the International Chartered World Learned Society.
And first, what impressed us to make sure to confer him this award is because of his contribution to the society.
What I was conferred on him today, it shows how how far he's come, how much work is done over a period of time, and it shows, his selflessness towards our system here in Nigeria and the Nigerian youth. So I believe it's a massive honor, to be able to receive such award, and I know he will do justice with his because of the sort of person he is.
Dr. Raymond Edo is the United Nations Habitat Ambassador to Nigeria, a young Nigerian oil magnate, an international activist, political strategist, foreign affairs analyst, real estate consultant, shipping expert, and an economist. A highly accomplished, proactive, and dynamic professional with a successful career. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News.
Lamenting over poor funding, insecurity, threats, time constraint, poor access to information, among other things confronting effective investigative journalism in Nigeria. Some veteran journalists say journalism as a profession is dominated by quacks, and it's high time the system was cleaned up. In this special report, Clearview News Imefo Nokon speaks with some experienced journalists on the way forward in revamping the profession.
The Nigerian mass media started with the publication of Iwe Iroyin in 1859. Since inception, the Nigerian press had been at the forefront of fighting against wrong government policies. Journalists were at the forefront during series of military rule in the country. They fired at all cylinders to fight against oppression during the rule of former heads of states, Muhammadu Buhari, General Ibrahim Babangida, and through the time of late General Sani Abacha. Many are of the opinion that the Nigerian press was largely responsible for driving away military rule. Many journalists lost their lives during these years of fighting for democracy. Prominent among them was Delekiwa, who was assassinated via a lethal bomb. Aside from fighting for democracy, the Nigerian press has been at the forefront of sustaining Nigeria's nascent democracy. Lamenting over poor funding, insecurity, threats, poor access to information, among other things that stand as major constraints to the practice of investigative journalism in Nigeria. Some veteran journalists revealed missing gaps in journalism practice in the present age.
Dedication is missing, and it's missing because the profession has become an all-commerce. Before you can be referred to as a medical doctor, you must have possibly gone to the university, done your housemanship. Before you can be called an architect, you would have done some things in the university, did their drawing or whatever. In Nigeria today, journalism is the profession that an organizer can go into. Anybody can go into journalism. That is why you have us all over the whole place, and there is a difficulty now in even recognizing who the real journalist is.
You have to be a daring personality. You have to be determined to get any story out of the rocks. But now you see everybody is avoiding, let them not kill me, let them not do this.
One of the major challenges I would say is funding, and then another thing again that I would say is the fact that the journalism profession in Nigeria is dominated by quacks. A lot of persons don't understand the basis of journalism. So once you are able to get Android phone and then you can write one or two things on Facebook, you assume yourself to be a journalist.
They said the media can stimulate good governance, hence the need for the government to make the profession more attractive by supporting the Nigerian press.
NUJ, Nigerian Union of Journalists, is one of those organizations that the federal government is supposed to be committed to by remunerating their activities and supporting their research, because journalists, the fourth rim of the state, cannot be overlooked.
One of the ways to tackle the problem in journalism in Nigeria as it is today is to ensure that you make it attractive for those who are really trained to get involved.
NUJ should fight that fight. Has nothing to do with the federal government. Federal government will now support activities of the union.
Experts say investigative journalism in Nigeria today may be a very challenging profession, but there are great prospects ahead as the media continue to play its watchdog role by being the intermediary between the government and the governed. Imefonokon reporting for Clever News.
Thumbs down, bashing of no mean magnitude, even death threats have continued to trail the June 2023 comments of a Nigerian pastor, author and televangelist over his comments on white garment churches. Pastor David Ibiome, who is the founder and presiding pastor of Salvation Ministries, had accused white garment churches of manipulating people's destinies. We have an update.
The wickedness there is unbearable. So I've been there before. So before I became born again, I've worked now. Before I became what? So I get angry if people can deceive people like this, because I've been deceived by them. So that's why you see me when I say, hey, stop this deception. Don't deceive people anymore with Kusterobia and all these things. I know it. I'm not angry that I hate the practice. If you want to serve God, serve God. Don't serve God with the magic, and don't do that. And put the Bible in front and occultism at the back. No.
That declaration naturally did not go down well with white garment churches, mainly cherubim and seraphim and celestial churches. Some white garment priests have really taken him to the cleaners, while others have words of advice.
Initially, I didn't want to talk about this man called David Ibiome. By age, he will be 60-something if I'm not mistaken. It only means we are within the same age bracket, if I will count very well. I don't know whether you enjoy the grace of God at the level at which you are, or it is some of those things that you people do that we know, that we don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the things you people do.
As we have the soft reactions, there also came some harsh ones. As a matter of fact, a man who referred to himself as a prophet in the Celestial Church gave Ibiome 14 days to apologize, adding that he, Ibiome, will pass on to the great beyond if he refused to retract his statement.
I am saying that I want to speak to Mr. or Pastor David Ibiome. I am a bona fide celestial prophet. But what he said to we, the Celestials, he really made a very terrible mistake. And as it was, as a man of God, we are expecting him within that 14 days that Superior Evangelist Stephen gave to him to apologize. Even if no, this is not a word of truth. He will visit our God.
Yes. We actually secured this video courtesy of Teresa Media. However, 14 days have passed and Ibiome has refused to go as predicted.
Ibiome was a satanic church leader. You know, he's emulating Oyedepo Adeboye because they're all in occultic. In those days when he wanted to do his final meeting before he started making this mistake, there was a church that fell in worry when he used people for ritual. The same thing, the same death, premature death. Joshua Temitope died. That's how he's going to die. Ibiome is not matched to Celestial Church. Celestial has been on before the birth of Ibiome, so we don't need to reckon with him. So we don't need to work about him. He's a small boy. It's the money that is pushing him, and it's the blood money. So that's all. He has about 3 years to go.
So, where do we go from here? Does the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, have a role to play here? Would you want to look at the development from the Islamic perspective and say this can never happen among Ansaruddin, Ahmadiyya, Nawaruddin and more? What do you think? Join us on Wednesday live on Facebook at 1 p.m. Nigerian time and make your contributions. The number to call then will be 08065030300. Wednesday Facebook live at 1 p.m. Our page is simply Clearview News Desk. Patience Obots reporting for Clearview News.
If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clearview News Desk. When we come back, we bring you stories on women and children. Stay with us.
The news continues now with stories from our area of specialization, women and children. After the main transmission of our news, we rebroadcast on our YouTube page, Clearview TV. Do you operate a women or children's NGO? Are you at the helm of affairs of a government establishment or a corporate organization involved in the affairs of women and children? Then you are our partners in progress. We have a mission to better the lot of our women and children. Join us to celebrate womanhood and work assiduously to better the lot of the Nigerian child. This is our mission.
Welcome back. The police in Anambra State have arrested a woman, Ukamaka Udwegbo, for maltreating her aged mother. Clearview News reports that the 50-year-old suspect was arrested on Saturday, July 15 in Umudunu village, Abagana in Ijikoka local government area of the state. Ukamaka was seen flogging her naked aged mother repeatedly and throwing buckets of water on her as she lay on the floor. The State Police Public Relations Officer, Ikinga Tochukwu, confirmed this in a statement on Sunday, saying that the suspect flogged and kicked her 75-year-old mother. According to the PPRO, the State Commissioner of Police, Aderemi Adeoye, has directed the transfer of the case to the State CID in the public interest. The PPRO also said the CP has authorized that the aged woman be handed to the Commissioner for Women Affairs for adequate care by the Anambra State government. He said the suspect would be arraigned in court at the end of the investigation. And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
Nigerian police force has withdrawn the police mobile force personnel previously attached to prominent individuals, including Mrs. Aisha Buhari, Mamman Daura, former secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustapha, and Iochia Ayu, a former Senate president. Veteran journalists have expressed concerns over the intrusion of quacks into the journalism profession and called for immediate cleanup of the system by regulations. We also told you that Rotary Club have empowered 100 teachers in Abuja on skillful ways of impacting the right knowledge of their pupils and students.
Remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at Clearview News. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Clearview TV. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.